For those that don't know, I am a licensed attorney. Because the influencer marketing industry is a billion-dollar industry, the AI is here. It's not perfect, and we're gonna get into that. What I am worried about, lawyers, so don't come for me, is that now a new original work, it's digital, it's fast, it's everywhere, but it's nowhere.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine.
Hey y'all, it's Kameron Monet, come back to you guys with a new video. In today's video, we're talking about AI and the law. For those that don't know, I am a licensed attorney as well as an influencer marketing consultant, content creator, and YouTuber. I love everything about social media and the influencer marketing industry and the creator economy so much that I quit my law firm job back in 2020. I used to practice employment litigation, and I started my own consulting firm called The Legal Tea. We focus on helping influencers and creators navigate the contract and negotiating space in this industry. And at this point, I pretty much have seen almost any type of contract that involves entertainment, influencers, creators, and anything in the digital space. So, love what I do. I'm glad to be here, but let's get into some real tea because, listen, as we all know at this point, law is so traditional and old school, and it is slow to catch up on a lot of the things that us in the digital era, I'm a millennial, we are already on top of. But a lot of times, some of us millennial attorneys and attorneys that navigate these unique spaces in the digital space, we're like, what the heck do we lean on? And then you throw in a loophole like AI, we like, what is happening? So I wanted to do a video on my thoughts as of today, because y'all know things change, so don't hold me to it, okay? Now, some change. It has changed, okay? I do want to go ahead and add this disclaimer really quickly, as I must. Although I am a licensed attorney, I am not your attorney. This video and my content is only for educational and informative purposes only. If you are in need of an attorney, please seek counsel in your local jurisdiction. Thank you. Okay, so first things first, I already kind of insinuated it, but the law cannot keep up, okay? We are already so far behind, and it's such a new industry and a fast-paced industry, which is the complete opposite of law. So what I would like to see is more attorneys, more law students, more law schools, more legal professionals push an emphasis on learning about the digital space, learning about AI, learning about the metaverse, learning about social media and influencer marketing. And a lot of us are hesitant and we're like, well, why would we do that? I don't know, because the influencer marketing industry is a billion-dollar industry. And there's contracts involved. We're talking millions of dollars here, hundreds of thousands of dollars in these contracts. The highest contract that I've seen was over $300,000. So I don't know about you guys, attorneys, law students, legal professionals that are out there, or anybody that has ever read a contract or been involved with some type of contract. You probably want somebody to look over those terms, okay? So with the law being behind, there's also not a lot of case law or precedent that we're really leaning on here. So it comes down to people such as myself as consultants and experts in this industry to bridge that gap between the law and AI and the digital space and the metaverse and social media and influencer marketing and so on and so forth. Specifically with AI, I think attorneys are fearful of utilizing it as a tool, which actually leads me into my second point. We love a good little transition. Lawyers don't want to adapt and accept that AI is here and the digital space is here. Listen, a lot of times when new things come up, especially in a more traditional kind of set in a certain way area, we don't want to include anything else. We don't want to adapt, but we can look at this in a positive light. Think of AI as a tool. It's fast, okay? It's not perfect, and we're gonna get into that, but there are so many benefits of utilizing new tools in a more traditional field. For example, we use Westlaw, Case Text, LexisNexis, legal assistants, paralegals, etc. We use them on a regular basis. They are tools, right? Now, I don't even know how to say this. Okay, lawyers and law students, y'all still here? We are template users. Okay, I said it. Lawyers are template users. We learned that in law school. So if we're already using templates, why not ask an AI system to do a quick search on something basic, right? Why are we taking hours and hours with something that can happen in moments? Now, again, we're gonna talk about how Miss AI, she is not perfect, she is new, and we need to double check. Also, I will go ahead and add this in right now. I'm not worried that AI is going to take lawyers' jobs. I don't think so. What I am worried about, lawyers that don't want to utilize it as a tool, that are going to get left behind, and they're not going to be able to keep up at a fast-paced level of us that are using these technological skills and technological softwares and tools and resources that we have at our disposal. just try it out. Even if you hire a legal assistant or an intern or an extern or a paralegal that they specialize in that, so they can help push your firm and push your practice further. It's just going to help y'all, okay? Somebody needs to hear that. Don't be afraid to use AI and technology. Okay, of course, I can't talk about AI and the law and not talk about legal issues that are clearly going to arise and that are continuing to arise. And I also, again, I'll add this as well. I'm giving so many disclaimers because I know there are some people out there that are in the tech industry, right? Like they are engineers, like they understand the text, the coding. Baby, that's not me, okay? Lawyer, attorney, creator. Yeah, years of experience consulting, okay? That's here, right? But a lot of these overlap in the industry that I work in. So I have to become a little bit knowledgeable. And I know there's so many different types of AI, levels to AI. They're constantly changing, revamping it, and things of that nature. So when I'm speaking about this, I'm speaking high level. So don't come for me, okay? Educate us in the comments, be respectful. I love a good conversation, good little kiki, but keep it respectful, right? So I'm coming on a high level, discussing very general. I just want to get the conversation going because this topic and so many others I've been kind of like itching to talk about and I haven't, but you know what? Here I am. I'm gonna share my little 2 cents on it, okay? So back to what I was talking about, okay? So the third thing I want to talk about is who owns AI? Like, is it the person that is creating the AI? So the person that is training the software and the resource and the tool to then curate a specific type of outcome? Is that the original owner? Or is it the person that is inputting into the AI? So like, for example, ChatGPT, if I go in there and I say, create me an itinerary for a Italy trip for 2 weeks for a girl's trip or something, right? Not me manifesting, okay? One thing about me is I'm gonna take a trip. Okay, back to the video. But am I then now the original creator of that? Because once the AI system goes in and it goes out into all the resources that has been embedded in it to create this beautiful itinerary, is that now mine? Or is it still the person that has created the AI, right? So that has honestly brought up so many different questions, concerns. So how I view all this is like there is state level, like state law, federal law, and then to me, there's this digital law or digital space that we are now trying to put in either a federal aspect or state. I think it's definitely federal, of course, if we're speaking traditionally, but I think digital is different even than state and federal. And I think over the few years, hopefully sooner than later, our laws and regulations and guidelines are going to start to craft this in a way that hopefully makes sense if they consult with people that understand and they're not afraid to like really get engulfed in this. But I think this digital space creates a level of question, confusion, but I think there is a way to make it more malleable and functionable. I'm just not gonna share what I think quite yet. I'm still coming up with my assumptions and my ways that I would suggest, but I do think there needs to be something different. Not state, not federal, but digital. There's something that is different about this digital space because my main concern with my clients is protection. I want my creators and influencers and any client that I'm working with to be protected, whether it's protecting their craft, protecting their thought, protecting their whatever the case may be, mostly content, right? And that's digital a lot of times. So finding ways to protect this, even if they're using AI, can get a little tricky, right? So when I'm consulting, I always just make sure that I let them know that there is this question going on. Don't think because if you create something on AI, it's automatically yours, because what AI does, y'all, is it takes from the internet. It takes from different spaces and comes up with this curation that you need. So if it's an itinerary that we're speaking about, it may use another blogger's beginning of their itinerary and then a second blogger's end of their itinerary to curate this perfect itinerary for what you are requesting. But therefore, where's the level of copyright? Because let's say the bloggers have their pages copyrighted, registered. Then they're embedding it and they're creating something new. Is this now a new work? A new original work? Whew, child. We can talk about this for days. Oh, one more thing about this. If you are the person that is training the AI system, right? You are going in there and you're curating it on the back end. I don't know the details to what this does. Again, that's for somebody else that did. That's not my expertise. It's not my expertise, okay? But are you then creating or somewhat having an implicit bias? Is there a bias happening with the person, not intentionally, but you know, like A bias that comes along with maybe you're choosing certain websites, networks, and codes that you know are going to lead to specific resources and tools for the AI to pull from. Is there now a bias issue, right? I'm gonna have to do a separate video. Let me know if y'all want to hear more about my thoughts on that, because that's a whole nother video. The fourth thing that I want to talk about that's leaning kind of on that third, really it is leaning on the third, is copyright infringement, right? And we already talked about who was the original owner, where does that, and copyright. So the question here is, where does it begin and where does it end, right? That is the number one question when it comes to copyrighted work, right? Because the original work, if I write something down and draw it, technically I am the copyright owner of that drawing, right? But then if I give it to someone else, or AI takes it and it adds some different colorations and change the lines, and now it is something new. It's Cameron, AI, and then now the person that's on the chat GPT or whatever software that you're using it, and they take it and change it. Is that now a new original work, or do I still have any rights? Ooh, child, I should have drew this out. But y'all see what I'm saying. There's just a big question about copyright. It really is a big question. And I think, again, some of the issue is the legal profession is behind, and we're hesitant to even really dive into it like we should, instead of the perimeters. I mean, child, y'all seen this stuff a lot. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but some people still don't know TikTok is not TikTok, it's TikTok. Some people don't even know what Instagram and Threads is. Truth be told, it is a sad world, and these are the people that we are leaning on to make these regulations and guidelines. Yeah, it's crazy out here. The last but not least I want to talk about is privacy issues. Y'all, first off, there's a lot of privacy, copyright, trademark, all types of issues in the digital space, like how to track it, right? It's digital, it's fast, it's everywhere, but it's nowhere, right? So it can be really complicated. With privacy issues and AI specifically, interactions that you have with AI, meaning when you input information into your AI software, resource, or tool of choice, right? Let's just say ChatGPT, it's like the most common one, right? Let's say you input information on there. There isn't right now, to my knowledge today, now it may change, child, it may change, but there isn't a clear set way to protect your privacy rights when you input your private information in order for AI to provide sometimes the best results, right? So let's go back to the itinerary example. If you are crafting an itinerary and you input your name, your location, your address, your phone number, your all these things, and yes, you may get an amazing outcome and so detailed, and you're like, oh, this is great, it's cheaper than a travel agent. But now you have now offered willingly your private information into a public domain. We do it a lot, right? Online, we do it a lot, but there's still some level of privacy that we try to maintain. But when we're in this chat GPT or these AI systems, we feel like, oh, it's just us in the AI system. There is someone else on the other end called the internet. No. But seriously, there's someone else on the other end in a variety of different levels, in a variety of different ways, but you have to be careful with putting your private information. Which is why us as lawyers, we need to use it as a tool and not as a replacement for our legal knowledge, analytical skills, and our client information. We do not need to use it to directly push out what we would need to say in the exact verbiage because of these privacy issues. As y'all know, we have ethical things we need to pay attention to and protect our attorney-client relationships and privileges and things like that. So we need to be careful. So just be very careful what private information you put into AI, because you never know. You may put that private information, then all of a sudden people knocking at your door. You're like, how you get my address? Okay, that's probably not gonna happen, but you don't want it to misuse your private information. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to kind of throw some topics and my thought process out right now about AI in the law. I wanted to do this little video to test the water, see how you guys feel about me just kind of rambling and discussing my opinion on things as they come up. But y'all know things change so fast. Maybe tomorrow I might have a different opinion. But just want to put this out there. If you are an attorney, if you're a law student and you're like, I really want to get into this, but I'm scared, just start to research. Read some articles, and don't be afraid to read articles that aren't Westlaw, LexisNexis, Casetext, etc. Like, get into the nitty-gritty of the specific industry you're in. Business Insider is a really good resource. Reaching out to some creator-specific resources that can really help you. I'll leave some links down below if I can remember editing Cameron, so you guys can check that out. But AI, I don't think it's going anywhere, so we need to go ahead and adapt and figure out how we can best use this as a tool in our legal profession. Otherwise, we're gonna get left behind. Not in a way where there's gonna be AI people that are trying cases, that are submitting documents. I just don't think that's gonna happen. But there's going to be attorneys and law firms that are going to really utilize these tools in ways that they can research faster, they can draft faster, some definitions that we can summarize faster, things like that anybody can really do, right? But we got to do it as lawyers, things like that. But the nitty gritty, building the package for your client where you take the facts, you take the law and mend it together in this perfectly curated analytical document. That's where we come in. But I do think that AI can help us get to there, and then we come in and customize it. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm using my hands like this. Anyway, child. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you did enjoy. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And leave me some comments down below. What are your thoughts? What are the topics that you guys want me to touch base on? I would love to talk about it. I'm trying to get more into that on all of my platforms and actually share what I share with my clients on my platforms. Last thing, if you don't know, you're about to find out. I always end my videos with an affirmation. So if you did make it this far in the video, comment below, I am open to new experiences. That's the one. Gotta stay open. Okay, period. I'm gonna run that back one time for the one time. If you made it this far in my video, comment below, I am open to new experiences. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one.